Hello, hello. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the organizers of this event, I would like to formally thank you for coming, not just coming for the event, but for coming quite of time. Can we please put a round of applause together for all of us who have stepped out in the spirit of the new Nigeria that we intend to build and have been at this event right on time as we should be. My name is Reward and Kerako. I will be one of the co-hosts for this event, and I would like to welcome us once again. Let us know that all the distinguished participants that we need to get the event started arrived in the VIP room just now. So we're young, some of us were young men, Committee of Nations. We've been fighting to propel a new agenda for this new nation that we intend to build. So a lot of our brains of Nigeria. I urge you to please in the morning. There is no special magic in the air. It is just what we do every day that eventually gets us to success. It's now supposed to bring our distinguished to the podium. We also had.
And that is the reason why we are here. And I want to say that as we are here today, we are not just here to talk, but we are here to provide solutions to the problems of Nigeria. I want to say that we should engage ourselves. We should try as much as possible to make sure that Nigeria becomes a better place. I want to say once again that you are all welcome to the Emerging Political Leaders Summit 2017 and have a good sessions today. Thank you and God bless you.
Gentlemen, please.
Senator, you have my interest in this program over the last few months was always in my dormitory as a young person with a diverse group of Nigerians that is united. That is even some of the smallest African countries are ahead of us. Yeah, I think this is again not very good. We were perceived.
I'll be deceiving myself. It's not perfect, but we cannot also fold our arms, stay in the corners of our homes, or bury ourselves in our phones, arguing on social media, and think that things will change. It will not change. Therefore, looking at all of you who are here, you are very young. You know, maybe the oldest of anybody who is here in the audience that I'm looking at now will be about 40, 45. You know, we are talking about your future. We are talking about the future of your own children. So we cannot continue to lament and agonize. Rather, you must organize. When I look at the social media and I see all of those expressions of frustration, I do not think that is what is going to solve our problem. You know, I have been to meetings at all levels, at the world level, at the local government level, and at the state level and at the federal level. You know, we have abandoned the space for too long for those who are not supposed to be holding the compass to our future. And that is what we have to talk about. We have to strategize about that. Honestly, you know, a Buhari wouldn't have come out to come and rescue us if we have been up and doing. It's not about his future. He's not going to build a new house, marry a new wife, or have a new child. He's not going to go back to school. But he's concerned about the state of the country, and many of us who you take up the mantle are not doing so. You know, go to our ward meetings in the political parties, whether you are PDP, UPP, ABGA, or whatever. We don't have elements like you. We have people who are persuaded to come to meetings by giving them money to come to the meetings. And when they go there, they are waiting for the soft drink to be served, for the food to be served, and for somebody who is going to pay them. So they are not talking about their community, what is lacking in this community, what is the state of our schools. They are not talking about that. And if political, you know, engagement begins at such a level, and people are not concerned about those things, people, elements like you, well-educated, you know, exposed, with a lot of ambition, if you don't participate at your ward level, then there is a problem. I had to at the time call my daughter. You are agonizing about Nigeria. How many of the people, you know, there are reading you on the internet? Why don't you go and join the party, political party of your choice, at your ward level? Change the, you know, calculations of things there. If you go in there, abuse your governors, they will continue to govern you. You will just die in lethargy. That's but that's in our look. We are spending hours and hours. When I was in the Senate, I kept calling my colleagues, look at what they are writing about it. So I said, Senator, go and sit down. Who cares about social media? And that is the reality. So then what do you need to do? You have to please go out there. The generation of Buhari or Obasanjo will not be there forever. Even now, those of you, the worst of you, are the ones who are finding themselves in political power, who are young. It is not the best of you. Because they understand, they know what power means. It gives them ability to be taken away from those who do not load their left hand, from the difference between their left hand and their right hand. All they are thinking about is that who is bringing in money? Who is bringing the food? It's not about finding solutions to our problem. So when we talk about emerging political leaders, you are trained, you are equipped, you are educated. What you need is to change your own orientation and see that this country also belongs to you. That government is not something in the space. Politics is something that you should participate in. By the time you go in there, they ask somebody to write a speech, you write a beautiful speech, come up with a beautiful paper on our water, system, power system, infrastructure and all of that, and you are coming up with something, that is very reasonable. People will concede power to you. If you are imaginative enough, you can take power so easily. But if you do not do anything and you fold your hands, and you are sitting on your hands daily, lamenting, condemning Buhari, condemning this governor and that governor, and it is a statue erected in Owerri that's of concern to you, thinking of things that you are going to write about that, you will lament and lament until you are 60, you are 70, and you are worthless. Look, Malema, no, not Malema now. Yes, I've been following Malema for more than 10 years in South Africa. Look at the difference he has made in that country. Sakata was chairman of the ruling party in Kenya at the age of 32. Sakata. And there are, examples all over the world. A 37-year-old person had just become the prime minister of New Zealand. No, 32 in New Zealand, 37 in Austria. They don't get there by just sitting down and lamenting. Look at the career pattern, the career of Obama. He also didn't just sit down lamenting. He had to get up and do something. Please and please, don't let this society waste you. We are all looking up to you. Buhari himself is looking up to you. I believe that if he can see someone like you in his mode, honest and straightforward, yes, there may be things we want to complain about, but you cannot say today anywhere that you have found Buhari buying a house in America or in London or in Paris or in Dubai. You cannot. If anybody has the information, let him bring it out. I was in Senate for 4 years. I have information. People go to the villa, to visit the president. Senators, bishops, kings, and chiefs. When they are leaving the place, you pack. 50,000 $50,000, $100,000 in the boot. Do we have that today? No. You come to the villa, the best you can take in the villa today is a handshake, tom-tom, or robo bitter cola. And that is informed by the fact that, look, you must use the public wealth for the purpose of serving the public. All of that, giving money to persuade people to support you, to say well, to talk well about you, is no longer there. If you like, abuse him from today to tomorrow. Let us use the available resources for the benefit of the people. That is why in 2014, in the budget, 25 billion naira was given to infrastructure. Works are now seen. 25 billion for the entire country. That will not do a 100-kilometer road. By 2015, we're already talking about 750 billion. Where does the money come from, if not for the loopholes that have been plugged by the government? You cannot solve a problem created over so many years within 3 years. It's not possible. It's not possible. It cannot happen. So, while we are doing that, what I expect of you, those of you who are here, is to see President Buhari as a starting point. Here is a man who once ruled Nigeria, who was one that we are taking abroad of 27. And you need to know the kind of national contribution they make then. If you pose the challenge, even someone like me will give way for you, not talk of those who are older than me. If we find out that you are a better choice, we will give way for you. But you must show that you are better. Power is not served a la carte anywhere. You must struggle for it. But if you don't struggle for it, whoever gets there, whether an old man, a foolish man, a thief, they will pick the power. And then you will then live in frustration. So please, I want to implore you, get up and participate. It is very important. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, another round of applause. I think the speaker just made it very clear that the issue is one of young people taking responsibility, and that power is responsibility. A few days ago, I took it out of Abuja, and I told everybody says it's those people's fault that Nigeria is the way that it is. The boss hold
Nigerians. 400 million, according to the status quo. The status quo is that we face not a recession, not a blip on the screen, not an existential, that we are confronting the implications of the huge growth in population in this country. It could be a boon for us if we create the type of economy that can sustain 400 million people. So that could become a source of wealth. But if we do not create that type of economy, then it becomes a source of conflict. So let's think about that. Consider the status quo today, the statistics we have. Consider that after 57 years of independence in this country, the average income of a Nigerian because for you to be capitalist, you must understand what capitalism means. You must understand the three things that drive successful capitalism. Number one, innovation. If you don't innovate and produce new improvements on existing products or invent new products and market them, put them on the shelves, you can never be a wealthy country. Number two, property rights. If people don't have property rights, that nation will never, very likely, become wealthy. So if the state owns all your land, as is the case in the Land Use Act, that is a passport to poverty. Number three, capital. If you don't generate capital in your economy, internally, through taxation, effective taxation, you're practicing capitalism without capital. Number two, you have to understand capitalism, but without a lot.
So I think the scene has been set, and I can jump right into why I'm standing here. And I decided to responsible federal government. We have
Another round of applause for her, please. I'd like to quickly recognize the presence of the representative from the Swedish Embassy here. A round of applause, please. We also have Alhaji Mohammed Sani Musa, Chairman, CEO, Acts Technology. A round of applause, please. And I'd like to quickly announce that if you are the owner of a Toyota Corolla RSH 495CL, you may need to go outside and move your car. Someone needs to drive out. The hashtag again is EPL Summit 2017. Follow on Twitter and Instagram at EPL Summit NG. For live streaming, www.eplsummit.ng/stream. We encourage our speakers to stick to the allotted time of 15 minutes. The next speaker is no other person but the former Minister of Youth Development and Sports, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi. But before he comes up, we'll take a video presentation.
University of Lagos, Mass Communications.
Need a lot of Plato, as much of Plato as you can read, but also find time to read Niccolò Machiavelli. The first time that some young people came to me and said they wanted me to support the not too young to run bill, I said, excellent. Not too young to run, but what race are you running? Is it an inter-house sport? Is it Okpekpe mountain race? Or is it a Lagos marathon? If it's inter-house sport, then you don't need to talk to anybody, you don't need to prepare, just start running. Just wear something and start running. But if it's Lagos Marathon, or the Olympics, or the Commonwealth Games, you need years of difficult and painful preparation. Human performance experts will say, before you can achieve podium success in sports, you need 10,000 hours of practice. 10,000 hours is 2.5 hours every single day, Christmas, Salah, New Year, for 10 years. I've used the metaphor of sports, not just because I was a minister of sports, but because I see a lot of similarities in running for political office and running in athletics. Just like running in athletics or running in politics. In the course of achieving your 10,000 hours, you will achieve small victories here and there, you will. But to achieve real success, the kind of success that you need to bring about the kind of change that you are all clamoring for, you have to listen to Alfred Lord Tennyson, that English poet that wrote the Ulysses. He said, one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. A heart that is strong in will, that strives, that seeks, that will find, because it refuses to yield. What we are talking about is increased youth participation in politics. But it's very important for us to note that even as you sit here, what you are doing is political participation. The youth that marched out Zimbabwe yesterday celebrating the ouster of Mugabe, that was an act of senators as women. There's no law that says women cannot contest. So if you want law that says young people can contest, please be my guest. You have your law. But it's not going to change anything on the right. In us, you have to prove that you are better than Frank Nweke Jr. Are you better than Frank Nweke Jr.? You have to prove that you are better than me, then I will consider the space for you. Right? I was an editor and a columnist at the age of 26. I was a special assistant. I was a special advisor. I was commissioner. I was minister. I'm telling you.
Thank you. Let's keep it short and sharp in consideration of all among the young people. Having political independence or freedom or capacity to access power, and yet having that huge unemployment and poverty statistics. Thank you, sir.
How are we going to do things differently because I'm so scared. I'm really scared because I see a lot of tendencies in the
generation ahead of him and the generation ahead of that generation that already has the trick to rig the election. So how do we stand a chance to win? Thank you.
Number one, I have been too many in numbers.
Be ready to entirely fund
the nature and quality. I mean the quality. Take this consciousness into political parties. They will take it into different groups, movements,